Adrien, bonjour. Info Plus Canal.
Adrien over here. I'm from Canal Plus. Yesterday, Fofana was talking about the collective win. You've got yourself into the semi-finals. And do you think that with Antoine and Kylian performing the way they are you going to hit this final? And do you think that they'll get back to where they need to be by the end of the tournament? Yes, so we've always talked about the fact that it's a team game, it's a team effort here. It's been the case for all of the other competitions that we've played in, and it is the case for this Euros, even though we maybe are having a little trouble. We've got to the semi-finals of an important competition with opponents that have given us, that have been very good. So obviously our team spirit is important. Winning as a team is more important than winning on the individual front. And for Antoine and Kylian, they're maybe not as, their legs aren't as fresh as they maybe could be, but we are 100% behind them. We have 100% blind faith in them. We know that these are players who can change the game at any point. Therefore, we're going to need them right up until the very end, especially if we want to get to the final and take that final home. Hi, Adrien, Stéphane from Le Parisien. Yesterday, there weren't any football games to watch. However, there were the results of the elections in France. What was it like for you? Were you following the results? Did you guys follow the results together, or was everyone watching by themselves? And were you happy about the fact that the national rally did not get in? We didn't watch together, no, because we got back from our coaching session. We had dinner, or lunch rather, or dinner once again at 8:15, and then everyone went back to their rooms. So we obviously were concerned about the results of this election. We have other things playing on our minds as well, but this isn't something that was mentioned. You saw that some of the players actually were active on social media. We haven't spoken about this collectively altogether, but I think that a lot of people felt relief after the results yesterday. No, I've always said that sports and politics don't always go well together. As I mentioned, we've got a semi-final, and I think that we needed to put politics to one side. We told people that they're French that needed to go and vote, because democracy was the one that was going to take the decision. I saw that there were lots of people who went to vote, the highest voting, and we need to leave the analysis to those who maybe are good at that. I'm a footballer. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. Hi, Adrien, the captain of the French team, before the last game was saying that since Paul Pogba leaving, there were not as many players capable enough of playing it both into the depth. Do you agree with him? I didn't hear that, but no, I didn't feel like he was talking about me in particular. No, I think that if he mentioned this, maybe because Paul Pogba has that, or had that capacity. We've got other player profiles on the pitch. You just need to get on with it and adapt as midfielders. We play with different forwards in the French national team, and then when we're back in our club, so we need to adapt to what they're asking, how they like to receive the ball. As a footballer, you need to have that chameleon quality. But I don't think that there's a debate in terms of the quality of Paul's capacity and his ability. I think it's just about getting used to playing with different midfielders. Hi, Adrien, Guy from RMC Sport. Same registers. Ousmane Dembélé also explained that sometimes the 4-4-3, the 4-4-2 diamond, and that sometimes you were kind of taken aback. Do you understand this shaking things up and the fact that he's holding his cards close to his chest? Because it's one thing hiding it from the press, but hiding it from his players? Do you think he's trying to be one step ahead of the game? I think it's more to hide things from you guys than to hide things from us. There's collateral damage, yes, but no, it can be quite difficult for him as well when he's trying to implement his strategy. A lot of information leaks out. And that isn't ever nice to see that when you've really worked hard on something, at the end of the coaching session, the media have already caught wind of it. It's a shame for us. And I would even say that it's a shame for everyone, for you guys as well, because when it comes out, it gives tips to the opponents. So if we're trying to work on things, we're trying to keep them up our sleeve right until the last minute, right until the kickoff. So I imagine that the coach is trying to pull the wool over your eyes. And when we're at a high level, when we're playing high level football, as I mentioned, we adapt. He's worked on different formations with us. And even if he changes the formation at the last minute, we'll know exactly what we need to do when playing in each of these different formations. As I mentioned, it's always, you have to have the ability to adapt if you're a high-level footballer. I'm from L'Équipe, Damien Legrand. How is Antoine Griezmann doing? And you, as his teammate, are you quite taken aback to see the level of football that he's playing, which is not usual for him in France? And do you think that this Euros can still be won without Antoine Griezmann at his best? Surprised? Yeah, I think everyone's surprised because we know exactly what Antoine is capable of. We saw what he pulled out of the bag during the last World Cup, and I think that he was probably at the peak of his playing. But I don't know how to explain the tough spell. Maybe he's physically not doing as well. Have you asked him? I don't know if you've asked him directly. But obviously, we have expectations when it comes to Antoine. We expect a lot more from him just because he's capable of giving a lot more, be us the teammates or the media. Are we going to win without a great Antoine? We are a high-level team. That's what I mentioned earlier, where it's a team sport. And when we've got the captain, so Kylian or Antoine, if someone's having a little bit of a rough patch, that's absolutely fine. We're there to support them. But obviously, it would be easier if we had the Antoine and the Kylian playing at the top of the game, which unfortunately isn't the case. But the coach is also making and has had to make choices. Up until now, everything's gone well, so let's hope that we continue in this vein. Hi, Adrien, Emmanuel Baranguet for l'Agence France Presse. I have a more personal question. How did you feel about the quarter-final and also the penalty shootout? Was it nerve-wracking? Were you biting your nails? Was it stressful not to participate? Prior to this, I didn't know what it was like sitting in the stands for a quarterfinals, and it's so stressful. I had cramps, but when I'm on the pitch, I never get cramps. And yeah, it was very, very stressful. I don't, as a player, it's an awful position to be in, but I was relieved. I was happy. I had faith in my team. The penalty shootout went well. All of the penalties were well taken. It is a great prize and compensation. I really wanted them to win, obviously, so that I could get back on the pitch for the semi-final. And this is the case. I'm delighted, and I'm going to do everything that I can so that we can make it to the final. Adrien, over here on your right, GDD, 2 questions about the Spanish team. What do you think about the progress of the Spanish team since De La Fuente replaced Luis Enrique? I feel that there has been a skyrocket in performance. And, you know, tomorrow, do you think that it will be Williams and Yamal on the wings, or do you think that it will be in the midfielder with the 3 midfielders that you know very well, who will really come down to the wire? I think that it's Spain is obviously, goes without saying, the team that has played the best in the tournament. Ball possession, great ball control in midfield, great wingers as well. They can penetrate the last third. They also know how to score goals. It's a very complete team. They have their strengths. They probably have weaknesses as well. We're confident. We know what we need to do. It's a team that we need to shake up. I think that the opponents let Spain stay in their groove, and we're going to see what they bring to the table tomorrow. We know that when teams come up against France, they sometimes change their playing style, and they're not always true to themselves. That's something that needs to be taken into consideration. But I hope that it will be a beautiful semi-final with two great teams.
Adrien, a question
Thank
in
you.
English, please. There is of course a lot of pressure on 16-year-old Yamal before the semifinals. Do you think there's any reason to worry about the psychological effects this kind of pressure and this kind of match can have on a 16-year-old?
On a vu que c'était un joueur.
We've seen that.
On a vu que c'était un joueur qui savait très bien.
We've seen that it's a player who can deal with stress very well, has lots of qualities, who is capable of playing for his club, but also in a major tournament such as this. We know what he's made of. We know that he keeps a cool head, but obviously it can be quite difficult to deal with a semi-final in a big tournament. But I think it will be up to us to put pressure on him, but also to show that we want him to come out of his comfort zone, and that if you want to be able to play a Euro final, you need to be able to do a bit more than he's done. So, up until now. And we're going to finish with two questions over there, Artiel and Provençal. Hi, Adrien, on your right. You spoke about the penalty shootout earlier. Theo scored the qualifying penalty, and we also saw a good return against Carrasco for Belgium. You play with him in Italy. Do you think that he's kicking things up a notch? Theo is a player that doesn't get spoken about that much, but he has a hugely important role. We saw the role that he played, that he has played. He's played all of the games. He is an essential link in the chain. And in Italy, he's made a name for himself. He's had blinds of a season. He's the deputy, or vice captain rather, at AC Milan. And then at the French team as well, he's had great games. He keeps a cool head. He handles stress and pressure well. We saw it when he took the deciding penalty to book that spot in the semi-finals. He plays quite simple football, but it does our team a lot of good, especially up front, with what he can do on that left flank. He actually combines very well with the defensive block. He knows how to get back and defend. He is an essential player to the team. And he also links up well with Kylian on the left. We saw this. I hope that he will be on his best tomorrow. Best level that he's been on since the beginning of the competition. And I think that if everyone gives it their all tomorrow, as we have been doing, we'll be in the final. Last question from RTL. Hi, Adrien. Didier Deschamps said that the defeat in the 2016 Euro helped the victory of the 2018 win. You've obviously come out of a World Cup final lost. You're getting to the Holy Grail, and does that whet your appetite even more? Obviously, the final that we lost was very important. It is still important. We were able to lick our wounds and get back up. We had a great qualifying round. We are in it to win it. We are still here. in the semi-finals, despite what we're hearing, despite what people are saying, whether we're an interesting team to watch or not, but the fact that we're in the semi-finals speaks for itself. The major part of our players who were there in 2022 are still here, and I think that we have done what we needed to get here. We want to lift the trophy after having got so close to the goal in 2022. Thank you very much, Adrien. We'll be following up with the